My name is Ashley. If you're new here, I bought this here treadmill desk because I'm on a weight loss journey and I'm trying to create a good caloric deficit to continue seeing the weight come off. I thought utilizing a treadmill desk, bumping up my daily steps, increasing my TDEE sounded like a really great plan. April 1st is tomorrow. We're walking the whole month of April. These things I saw all over the internet, all over TikTok. I feel like they really gained popularity during COVID while everyone was at home and still looking for a way to move and working from home. They've taken over the internet. And naturally, as a consumer, I bought into it. And it just seemed genius and I wanted to check them out. And that's what this video is. My experience using a treadmill desk. I'll go over the one I chose, why I chose it, how I liked it, whether or not I actually think using them is worth it and sustainable, or if they're just gonna end up collecting dust under your bed or in your garage. And I just wanted to make this video to review my experience and to see if this trend is actually helpful or if it's just another fitness fad. So this video is for those of you who may be interested in buying one. I will be talking about the frequency that I use them, how many miles I walked, how long I walked, etc. But this is more so just a review of the product and not like I lost weight walking on the treadmill, not like that. Although of course, if you know my story, you know my journey, you know my channel, it's always primarily centered around health and fitness. And this is definitely a tool for health and fitness. The purpose of this video isn't weight loss. It's just me wanting to practice a healthy habit and letting you guys know my experience so you can know if this is something that you're interested in buying too. So I did quite a bit of shopping before purchasing this treadmill, just looking at things online. I wanted to make sure that it was compact enough that it could easily just fit in my apartment and not be bulky and take up too much space. I don't have a huge apartment, but I also wanted to make sure it wasn't so compact that it's like uncomfortable to walk on. I'm still a thick gal, you know, and I got width to me. I got hips and curves. And it's like, I don't want some teeny tiny little thing. I feel like I'm walking a tightrope. So I wanted it to be comfortable for me, but also comfortable for the space that I had allotted for it within my apartment. Another thing that really made me do a lot of research when it came to finding my treadmill desk was finding one that I felt like was cost effective, like affordable, not way too overpriced, that I still was getting good quality for the product. I don't want it to break down after a month of usage or even a year. And I wanted to get one that was plus size friendly. Although I've lost weight and currently while I was buying my treadmill desk, I was under 200 pounds when I purchased it and I'm still losing weight and under 200 pounds. I did notice a trend of these treadmill desks not being super plus size friendly. A lot of them had a 200-pound cap. So, even a year and a half ago, I wouldn't have been able to purchase and use these effectively. So that's another reason why it took me, I feel like, a bit longer to do some searching. I wanted to make sure whatever treadmill I got could comfortably handle someone who was over 200, because that has been my story before. I ran across other treadmills that were highlighting shock absorption, which would be good if you joints, feet, knees, if you just wanted to make sure you're taking it easy. Some that had like safety bars, which I think could be really helpful if you think you really struggle with balance or you want a little extra support. If you're making an investment like this and it's something you want to use day in and day out or incorporate into your life, then these are some things that are definitely worth looking into, as it can really impact your enjoyment and your ability to use these machines. So something to think about. I chose the treadmill desk that I found, which was from the brand Fitness Code, if I remember correctly, because it was budget conscious while also still being inclusive. And the reviews were great, it looked great, the price was good. It seemed like a really good fit, and spoiler alert, I am really happy with the purchase, but you can watch the rest of the video to find out why. Now, coupled with the walking pad is of course like the desk and the stand that you're using for this little treadmill walk / work at home setup. And online, you see people with these really cool desks made specifically for this that rise, they're electronic, they go up and down, and they're also really expensive. I already had my own desk. I like to work from a desk, and I didn't feel like throwing it in the bin just because I was gonna get a walking pad. So I instead decided to look for desk extenders and things that I could use so I could still keep my old desk. I also save a chunk of change by not having to get some high-tech motorized rising desk. And yeah, it still worked for my budget. So I got this desk extender from Amazon. Absolutely love it. Super smooth, easily goes up and down, and very, very sturdy. They had different sizes. I chose one that I feel like was wide enough because I'm using a desktop, but there's still also room for like your keypads, maybe a cup of coffee in the morning, and just other knickknacks and things like that. So I really, really love the one I got. I'll be linking all this below. The walking pad, the desk extender, all of the goods. And yeah, I was so happy to just find this alternative because I was thinking about getting a whole nother desk, but it also just felt so incredibly wasteful. So I'm happy I did more research and found these instead. Most days that I did this little experiment, I was wearing a fitness watch. I like to track my steps. I am someone who is health conscious, weight conscious. I'm on a weight loss journey. My whole channel is all about that. And my interest in getting this walking pad and this treadmill desk situation was to increase my steps. Sometimes I host these like step competitions with my community, and you know, I was trying to be competitive. But also, like I said, I just really wanted to create a greater caloric deficit. And so using a fitness tracker works really well for me. I really love my Apple Watch. There's a ton of other trackers out there. I do know, and I have seen that some people, when they're using the desk, if it's important for you to accurately track the steps and all of that jazz, that it might be better to wrap your fitness watch around your ankle. And apparently, I think Apple even sells ankle holders that works for the watch. So that way it's more accurate, because when you're walking, if your walking pad has safety bars, you might be holding on to them, or you have a desk extender and you're working, your arms are resting on top and they aren't really getting the movement in, so it won't really accurately track your steps. So wearing your fitness watch around your ankle, or even getting a band specifically for the ankle so your watch can fit on it, might be a good way to go. I was wondering when this is going to happen, especially on this walking journey. But yeah, today I noticed after my walk that my belt they're not lining up. I don't know if you can tell, the belt's supposed to be center. There should be equal amount of space on this side as this side, but there isn't. And it's really just because of like how you walk, where you place your feet, where the weight distributes. It can make the belt kind of go off track. And this one started going off track. I've been trying to fix it. It even started getting a bit frayed because it started like feeding into the sides here. But yeah, so it's super simple. All you do, you just need like one of these Allen wrenches or whatever, and you lift this up because it's so light. You can't even see it, but it goes in here, and there's one on both sides. And then I can't remember, I have to check the instructions, but you gotta twist clockwise or counterclockwise depending on which direction you want it to go. I don't know, but I do want to realign her. These walking pads come with a mat that I was really, really happy about, because I had wood floors and I didn't want just the rolling and moving of my desk, especially like when I'm storing it away, to be scratching up my floors. I know that the mats are also really good if you have carpet, because you can place the mat down. Any heat that your treadmill generates, especially if you're walking on it for an hour a day or something, you know, you might end up starting a fire, who knows? But the mat ends up just kind of being a bit of a barrier, you know, between your floor and the walking pad. And I was really happy to have it just to make sure my floors weren't getting scratched up. But yeah, still very happy to have the mat. Now you might notice I'm including information on like the animes I was watching, because my thing, although I did use it some days to do work, I predominantly was trying to incorporate my walking pad into my everyday routine and like the time I watch TV. I watch a lot of TV. I've been on an anime kick. I'm watching a lot of anime. And so for me, this 60-day challenge was let's walk every day while we watch anime. I was trying to do like a habit stacking thing because I already am going to be sitting down watching the anime. I might as well walk while I do it, burn the extra calories, get the extra steps in. And so throughout the video, you'll just be seeing the animes I was watching, my ratings of it, and some information for those of you that are anime fans. Now, working on the desk versus my passive TV watching was definitely a different experience. I predominantly, like I said, used it when I was watching TV, because I'm like, I'm going to sit down and watch these shows anyway. I might as well be walking. So that's what I did. But some days I did use it when I had work to do. I did find that working and walking is a bit more complicated. I'm a video editor. That's primarily the main job that I have. And when it came to editing videos, my own or other clients, it was a bit harder when I was walking. I guess I find myself getting frustrated that like I couldn't put as much focus into the editing because I was walking. I did find, like, you know, of course, maybe I was walking a little too fast. I had to slow my speed down, which did help, slowing the speed down so that way I could walk without it being something I had to think about, and it just went with my natural gait as opposed to a little quicker than my natural gait, which makes you think about it and makes you feel tired and da 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 da. But in general, I really didn't like working while on the treadmill desk unless it was super passive, mundane work. If I was reading emails, writing emails, doing, I don't know, like admin kind of stuff, then the walking was no problem. But whenever I had to work and it required a bit more thought, creativity, brain power, the walking would annoy me. So there's that. I always just like to watch anime. I've tried to work on this while it's going, but it does not work for me. So I try to just watch anime while I'm doing it. And I just started Solo Leveling. One of y'all was DMing me, gotta watch Solo Leveling, Ashley, gotta watch it. So I just started it. I do think, you know, if you're clearing out your hard drive, if you're going through your emails or writing a ton of emails and you're doing more tasks that don't require much thought, then this is really good to use. But yeah, in general, I won't be using this to like edit whole videos and like, no, it just was not working for me. When it came to using it to watch TV, easy peasy. Get lost watching the show. Before you know it, it's over. You walked for 30 minutes. Sometimes, you know, you want to watch the next episode. It's like, okay, well, I got to keep walking. And you end up walking for an hour. Completely loved it. I also noticed how it made my body feel. As someone who has lived a very sedentary lifestyle and struggled with my weight and was overweight, I know how it feels. You're sitting most of the time or all hours of the day to being more active. And this proved to be no different. Even though it's just an extra 30 minutes to an hour a day that I was moving, it still was so helpful. Like I said, I predominantly use my walking pad during TV watching time. So normally I might be sitting down, and you know when you're watching something really good and it starts a binge fest and you get sucked into it, you've been sitting down watching TV for hours. I mean, those are great times, but also I can notice how tight my hips feel, how much I'm hunched over because I'm just sitting down, and I tend to hunch over. I have really bad posture. And I've just noticed the difference from changing, you know, that 30 minutes to an hour to 2 hours to still doing the same activity, enjoying my TV, but moving it, taking it from the bed to me standing up and walking. Throughout the day, I would feel more energetic. I would feel more limber, more mobile. I didn't have to deal with such tightness. It even made it easier for the times when I did go to the gym and, you know, I was stretching. It wasn't like I was starting from this super stiff place where my muscles have just been, you know, cramped up all day. It definitely made a difference. I also feel like I noticed throughout the day just having more energy, feeling more upbeat. Because workout and endorphins are real. They really are real. Speaking of working out, using a walking pad is so passive. It doesn't necessarily feel like working out, which can be a good and a bad thing. It's super awesome because you don't really feel like, you know, you don't feel tired or exhausted or out of breath. You don't feel like you really got to work out in, but you are burning calories. You are getting movement. Your body will reap the benefits. On the other end, because it's so passive and doesn't require you being present in your body, I would do my little walks and still feel like, okay, well, I gotta go to the gym today. Like I'm getting in more movement, but my brain or my body wasn't really registering it as like, you know, the type of completion and accomplishment that you feel when you hit the gym. Like I still would feel like I have to go to the gym on top of this. I have to be working out in a way where I am present and pushing myself and exerting that energy and just craving the endorphins that you get from a workout. So that was an interesting thing. The treadmill I got can go up to faster speeds to where I think you should be able to run on it. I didn't even test that out. I just didn't. For me, this was going to be something to do walking leisurely. I didn't even think to test it out, even for the sake of this video, which, you know, is my bad. But the walking pad that I used and that I'm recommending can, you know, go up to, I think 7-9 miles per hour. I can't remember exactly. I'll put the information on the screen if it's provided. But yeah, definitely a benefit, even though like I didn't test it out myself, so I don't know how it kind of works. Ooh, shoes. So I did play around with my footwear with the walking pad. One of the first times I had tried like slippers, that did not work. It gets sweaty, they get slippery, it's just not very comfortable. I did try tennis shoes, like my normal gym going shoes. So it works on the treadmill and it feels good. It feels like walking on a normal treadmill. But I didn't like wearing shoes indoors. So I oftentimes kind of walked barefoot or with socks on. And that was kind of the best thing for me. Although I will say, walking barefoot, walking with socks really only worked for me if I was watching less than an hour of TV. Anytime I was like, oh, the next episode, I might as well keep walking, I'm feeling good. Next episode, and I'm walking. Once I got past 45 minutes to an hour, my feet were kind of like, this barefoot walking for this long. And maybe that has to do with like my weight and my size. Maybe it's easier the lighter you are. All I know is I was like, nah, I actually do want the support of a shoe once it got to 45 minutes plus. So there's my experience with that. All in all, I love my walking pad. I'm so happy I bought it. I used it straight for these 60 days and I will continue using it. I mean, when I get back to my home. I mainly loved using it for my TV watching time. Like I said, I did have some experience doing some work on it. And over time, working on it did get progressively easier, but again, it was mainly the type of tasks that were just really easy to do. Anything that required real creativity, real brain power, real thought, I found myself getting frustrated with the walking pad. But in my opinion, it really works best to use it when you're trying to get movement in without, you know, really having to think much. You could just get some extra steps in effortlessly, lose yourself in the walk. And watching TV was the perfect thing for me to do that with. You know, after the first 3 weeks, I thought the novelty of this experiment would wear off, that maybe I'd have to like push myself to be getting on the treadmill or remind myself of the video that I wanted to make in this experiment, but it really didn't. It really did kind of fit effortlessly and seamlessly into my life and became an easy just thing for me to do and like an extra benefit. So I really, really love my walking desk. This little fitness trend and fad that popped up is not a fad in my life. Like, I definitely use it and will continue to use it, and I think it's worth it. I love the extra movement and how it made my body feel throughout the day, feeling more limber, more mobile, less achy, less tight, less brain fog, just more energy. More of an energy supply, more energized throughout my day. And there's also just like a sense of pride that you kind of feel like starting your day with some movement like this, or just like sprinkling in movement like this. You just feel a bit more productive. And I find that when you're doing things for yourself that make you feel productive, make you feel healthy, make you, yeah, look at me taking care of myself. You feel this sense of pride, and it creates a domino effect that just leads over into so much else. You know, it's kind of like waking up and starting your day and putting on makeup and doing your hair versus not. Sometimes it makes you feel good about yourself, and it then creates a domino effect in how you do everything else and the energy you apply and the attitude that you apply to so many other aspects of your life. My walking pad is linked in the description. My desk extender is linked in the description. All the anime ratings are going to be linked in the description. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please give it a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next week with another one.